An elderly mother walked into her successful son's corporate office carrying a homemade lunch in an old cloth bag. He looked at her in front of his coworkers and said, "Mom, why did you come here? You're embarrassing me." She quietly turned around and walked away. But the very next morning, his CEO called both of them into his office. And what happened next changed their lives forever. If you enjoy heartwarming kindness stories like this, please take a second to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and join our family for more inspiring stories every week. It was Monday morning in downtown Seattle. Employees hurried through the glass doors of Carter Financial Group. Everyone admired Daniel Brooks. At 36 years old, he was the company's youngest senior manager. He drove a luxury car. He wore expensive suits. Everyone believed he had the perfect life. That same morning, an elderly woman stepped off a city bus. Her name was Helen. She was 74 years old. Her gray sweater was neatly washed but faded with age. She carried a small cloth bag and an old lunch container wrapped in a towel. She looked up at the tall office building with a nervous smile. "My son works here. I haven't seen him in 3 weeks." She slowly walked inside. The receptionist smiled politely. "May I help you?" Helen nodded. "I'm here to see my son, Daniel Brooks. Please tell him his mother is here." A few minutes later, Daniel walked into the lobby. The smile on his face disappeared. Several coworkers were standing nearby. His face turned red. "Mom, why are you here?" Helen smiled. "You've been so busy lately. I made your favorite chicken soup. I thought maybe we could eat together for 5 minutes." Daniel glanced around at his coworkers. Some of them had already stopped to watch. His voice became cold. "You should have called first. This is my workplace." Helen's smile slowly faded. "I didn't want to bother you. I only wanted to see you." Daniel looked embarrassed. "Please don't come here again. My clients are here. What will they think?" For a moment, Helen simply stood there holding the lunch container. Then she forced a small smile. "I'm sorry. I didn't mean to make your day harder." She gently placed the lunch container on the reception desk. "I'll go now." As she slowly walked toward the exit, the receptionist noticed something. Helen quietly wiped away a tear before stepping outside. Everyone in the lobby became silent. Daniel picked up the lunch container with an annoyed sigh. "I'm too busy for this." He left it unopened on his desk. That evening, Daniel arrived home after another long day. The house felt unusually quiet. On the dining table sat a handwritten note. "The soup is probably cold now, but a mother's love never is. Love, Mom." Daniel stared at the note for a long time. For the first time that day, he felt something heavy in his heart. Just then, his phone rang. The caller ID showed one name, Richard Harrison, CEO. Daniel quickly answered. "Good evening, sir." The CEO's voice was calm. "Daniel, I need you and your mother in my office tomorrow morning." Daniel frowned. "My mother?" "Yes. Please make sure she comes." Before Daniel could ask another question, the call ended. Daniel sat there in complete silence. How did his CEO know about his mother, and why did he want to meet her? By morning, he would finally discover a truth his mother had kept hidden for more than 20 years. The next morning, Daniel drove to his mother's small house. She was already waiting outside in the same gray sweater. "Why does your boss want to see me?" she asked nervously. Daniel forced a smile. "I don't know, Mom." The drive was quiet. Neither of them spoke. When they arrived, the receptionist immediately stood up. "Mr. Harrison is waiting for both of you." Inside the CEO's office, Richard Harrison walked around his desk. To Daniel's surprise, the powerful CEO smiled warmly at Helen. Then he did something no one expected. He hugged her. "Mrs. Brooks, it's been 25 years." Daniel froze. "You know my mother?" Richard nodded. "I know much more than that." He looked at Helen with tears in his eyes. "When I was 19, I lost everything. I couldn't afford college. My father had passed away. My mother was sick. I was ready to quit my education." Daniel looked at his mother in disbelief. Richard continued, "Your mother worked 2 jobs back then. She barely had enough for herself. But every Friday, she secretly paid my college tuition." Helen quickly interrupted. "Please, you don't have to tell him." Richard gently smiled. "I do. He deserves to know." Daniel slowly turned toward his mother. You paid for his education? Helen nodded softly. You had your own school fees. I couldn't help both of you, so I worked nights sewing clothes. I never wanted either of you to lose your future. Richard took a deep breath. Without your mother's sacrifice, I would never have graduated. I would never have built this company. Daniel felt tears fill his eyes. For the first time, he realized the successful life he proudly lived had been built by a woman he had been ashamed to stand beside. Richard slowly opened a folder on his desk. Mrs. Brooks, I've waited years for the chance to repay your kindness. Then he slid the folder across the desk. Daniel looked down, and his heart stopped. Inside was something neither of them had ever imagined. Richard smiled gently. Mrs. Brooks, this house is yours. Helen looked down at the papers. I don't understand. Richard nodded. You've spent your whole life paying rent. From today, you'll never pay another dollar. Helen covered her mouth as tears filled her eyes. No, I could never accept this. Richard smiled. This isn't charity. It's a debt I've wanted to repay for 25 years. Then he turned to Daniel. And there's something I need to tell you. The room became silent. Yesterday, I watched everything on the lobby security cameras. I saw your mother waiting with homemade soup. I saw you push her away because you were worried about what people would think. Daniel lowered his head. Tears rolled down his face. I'm ashamed of myself. Richard spoke softly. I've led this company for 30 years. I can teach people how to build businesses, but I can't teach someone to honor the person who gave them life. Daniel walked slowly toward his mother. He fell to his knees. I'm so sorry, Mom. I spent years chasing success. I forgot the person who sacrificed everything for me. Helen gently placed her hand on his head. I never wanted your money. I only wanted my son. Daniel hugged her tightly as they both cried. Richard smiled. There's one more surprise. He handed Daniel another envelope. Inside was a new company program called Helen's Kindness Fund. Every year, it would provide scholarships to children raised by single parents. At the bottom of the page were the words, inspired by one mother's quiet sacrifice. The entire office stood and applauded. That evening, Daniel carried his mother's homemade soup into his own kitchen. For the first time in years, they sat together, laughed together, and shared a simple meal. Daniel smiled through his tears. Mom, from now on, if you ever want to see me, you'll never have to ask permission again. Helen squeezed his hand. My son finally came home. Sometimes the greatest success isn't earning a corner office. It's realizing that the person waiting for you at home is the greatest blessing you'll ever have. If this story touched your heart, please like this video, subscribe for more kindness stories, and leave a heart in the comments if you believe no success is worth losing the love of your parents.